With my buddy Eric.
Eric here.
With my buddy Eric.
Eric here.
Cheesy. Alright, so we've got Virgil's Not Hard root beer side by side with Not Your Father's root beer side by side with Mission hard root beer. Root beer is really the odd man out in this conversation. But it's root beer. It should taste like root beer. So let's start off by tasting a root beer.
Sounds good to me.
So Virgil's is a classic one on the West Coast. I'm not sure how much distribution they have. Now, really, I'm just coming at this blind. In the Virgil's, it's weird. I've never noticed it before. There's a little bit of pee. Are you picking that up in the nose?
Pea soup?
No, pee.
Like
urine.
No, that I'm not picking up.
Like old urine. No?
No, I'm not getting that.
But there's also mint.
A little licorice.
Licorice.
Very sweet smelling.
I'm calling that not dry, but crisp. Cut. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
Airy, dusty. You know what I mean? Which is normal I've smelled pee. Hey, you don't use this S&B glass for.
That is my daily glass, so it's washed very heavily.
Okay, with pee.
You want to try another glass?
No, it's fine. I think I'm just getting too much into it. Maybe it's the snifter.
Root beer to be fussed over.
Now, it's almost hard to really taste it because it's almost like you're dealing with a thing full of foam in your mouth. Nucleation. It's almost like your tongue becomes a million nucleation points, and the whole thing just turns into foam right in your mouth. That's the whole mouthfeel. And really, there is a saccharine thing going on, but most of it's spices.
A lot of spices. Very sweet too.
It
Very
is.
Sweet.
It is, but it's heavily balanced.
Right. And that light, airy carbonation gives it a nice finish to.
Yeah, when you compare this to like a Barks or an A&W, though, it's a lot less sweet, and it's a lot more spiced, and it's just drier on the back of the palate. I'm gonna really, just as a root beer in general, I'm gonna give this 7.5 out of 10.
I would give it about a 7. It's a little too sweet for me.
Okay.
But I'm a little more conventional kind of root beer guy. A little more sarsaparilla, a little less sweet. But
Yeah. That's. Okay, so now we've got Not Your Father's root beer. It's the one everyone's been talking about. Huge internet debate. Is it even beer? Is it macro? Should we be supporting this? Oh my God, Four Loko made it. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on the internet, and that's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss how good of a root beer, not even how good of a hard root beer, but how good of a root beer is it? So, there's no pee in this one. Are you sure it's not the cup?
I'm gonna have to get you a different cup. Although it does share the very same aroma, a little more candy-like in the aroma.
I'm getting a hint of cinnamon in this one. But yeah, that normal, dry, crisp, that thing that makes root beer, the thing that makes root beer not sweet, even though it is sweet.
A little bit of bubblegum too. A little bit of bubblegum.
Yeah, a hair. And that could be high fermentation temps. I mean, it is a macro.
Right.
So I mean, they might be Russian tad. Let's get down into the meat and potatoes. Yeah, there's no booze. There's no booze at all, and this doesn't taste like this. This tastes like A&W.
This tastes like a better root beer. This tastes like something with bite in it, something that I don't know, would serve it to your kids. But this has it's more an adult feel of root beer, like a adult soda.
But the mouthfeel is so much less bubbly and so much more syrupy. This almost has like a soda syrup thing going on. I'd like to see more head on this. I'd like to see more carbonation.
More carbonation would definitely give it a lighter feel, a more soda-like feel.
If this didn't have booze in it, would it still be a good root beer?
I think it would be a good root beer if it had a little bit more carbonation, served super cold. I think it'd be a good root beer. Not a great root beer, but...
I can see what people are saying about floats or shots of vanilla.
The shots of vanilla would calm it down a bit.
Yeah. It would give it a little something else to...
Something else to work on.
Because this lingers, man.
Yeah, it's got to have something to clean that palate at the end. This is just sticking too much.
But really, overall, I'm also calling this one a 7. So far, they both have aspects of root beer that I like, but not the whole package, and they're lacking in different places.
And of course, not knowing what process they use, that came pretty close to making something that tastes like root beer. Coming from a homebrewer's experience, you drink that thing, that's pretty damn close to making a root beer.
Well, supposedly the legend of the Not Your Father's Hard root beer is that there was a man and his son trying to make a hard root beer, and they succeeded, and then they licensed themselves out to the guys that make Four Loko. They're also of Zima fame. Mm-hmm. So you're basically drinking Zima, root beer flavored Zima. Reply in the comments if you know the process. I'm very curious about the process of how you strip the flavor from a finished beer product. I might be able to have some fun with it. So we're finishing off with Mission. Now Mission Brewery, they're in San Diego. I forget what city. The other bottle. Mission Brewery. I forget what city, but San Diego County. They're a pretty well-respected microbrew out here in California. They're one of the top 25 breweries in the state, I'd say. Mm-hmm. I don't know, they might be 15 or 16, but they're definitely in the top 25. They do some stuff that I love. They do 32-ounce cans at the liquor store. You can buy 32 ounces of a double IPA in one big-ass can. So I go tell my wife, hey, I'm going to the store, I'm going to buy a beer. And I come back with like, Jesus Christ, it's 10%, it's 9% alcohol, and it comes in a 32. I don't even want to try to do the math right now. And it's a pretty good for a cheap, because it's cheap. For a cheap double IPA, it's pretty good. And I love that thing. But that's the company behind Mission Hard Root Beer. I've heard there's a Coney Island one out on the East Coast, but we don't get it out here, so it didn't get to join into the conversation. I've heard there's a couple others too, but these are the ones I could find on notice. So, Mission.
Very strong licorice right off the bat.
Yeah, big on the licorice. No cinnamon. But it does have that stereotypical dry your nostrils out root beer. They've all hit that just about right. I feel like I should go back and compare them.
This one's actually, if I didn't know, was a beer. It smelled like really good root beer. Has a great aroma, very close to the original root beer. Virgil's.
Actually, no, it doesn't. This one's better.
Oh, this one's better.
This has a better aroma than Virgil's.
This one's more pronounced.
So, unpleasant.
Unpleasant, yes.
What is that?
There is a tinge in that hits you really hard right as soon as you drink it.
It's not. This is not good. That's for sure.
as a root beer or a beer, this is...
I'm thinking this is almost like spiced water. And the spices are almost coming off phenolic.
Yeah, they are.
There's no sweetness. This is like someone literally fermented a root beer. It's like a 3 or 4, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty low. I would say a 3.5. Because the aroma is the only thing that's making it score.
The aroma's good.
The aroma is very good. It smells like, yeah, that's root beer. Almost smells like a canned, regular sort of root beer, but it certainly does not translate in taste.
So we are at Jenneric Brewing Company, aka Eric's Garage. So tell us about Jenneric.
Jenneric is my wife and I. Jenneric is Jennifer's name. She brews all the beers. She comes up with all the recipes, all the flavor profiles, all the hop combinations. And Eric, the latter half of the name, is where I come in, and I take care of all the fermentation process, secondarying, kegging, bottling, all that kind of stuff. She came up with a name and just thought it was really kind of funny because we make basic generic beers at the time, IPA, stouts, nothing special, no spices, no nothing, just straight stand-up beers.
So what do we do this time?
This we've brewed probably about 8 batches of this. This is a blackberry saison. I think it's the best saison she makes. We've made a pumpkin saison, so-so. Other saisons that haven't turned out well. This one is the cheapest to make, and we have fresh blackberries out in the backyard, so it's really easy to make.
So how do you add them?
We used to add them actually 1.5 pounds. Add flame out. We clogged up our system, and then we added. Then we tried adding 1.5 pounds in primary, and of course that just failed. So now what we do is 1.5 pounds in secondary, and that's it.
Okay.
No flame out, no primary. It's just 1.5 pounds in secondary. And that's what we did on this one. We get a lot more blackberry flavor. When we did it in flame out, we found out we got almost nothing.
Okay.
We had to use a ton more blackberries. So using the same amount of blackberries, just putting it in a different spot, we came out pretty good this time.
Okay. So these are from your own personal garden.
Mm-hmm. And again, the recipe's really simple. Just probably for a 5-gallon batch, 8 pounds of just pale malt, a few pounds of specialty grains. I don't know what she puts in there, and that's it. Blackberries and USA.
We don't got the brewer. We got the bottler.
Yeah, yeah. I got the second half of it.
Well, thanks for having us.
No problem. Glad to host it.
And if you had told me this was a blackberry wheat, I'd have believed you.
Mm.
This isn't bad. It doesn't have any funky saison characters to it. I don't know if you're picking any up.
We most of our beers are very calm, very easy drinking, just because we give it so much family. We bottle them up and then mail them off, so they don't like a lot of spices. So we're trying to get them into craft more.
So you're toning it down for family.
We're toning it down for family, whereas we would normally overpitch, add spices. This one has no spice. We're just depending on what is in one vial of starter that we
characteristic flavors.
So you want to stress it.
I'm thinking you would. Now I'm not an expert on the saison, to be honest with you. I've never done one.
It's not particularly my favorite style, but this one is just excellent. At least it's super balanced. It's something everybody can drink. And
it's definitely a summer pool party beer.
Mm-hmm.
This is perfect for that.
Which is what it was created for, this time of year, and something from our backyard, little blackberries in there.
That definitely adds a certain cool factor to it. This is sourced almost entirely from the house.
Right. And then
that's pretty cool.
The next batch we're going to use is the wild yeast that we captured last month.
Okay.
We have it. We're kind of building up the yeast now. So once we do that, we'll add a little bit of funk to this, and then let it ferment at a little bit higher temperatures, and we should get what we need. If we don't, we'll add in a little bit of Brett. We also found these little flavor extracts from I guess it's a cake party store.
Yeah. Cakes Unlimited. That's where I go to get my favorite extracts.
Super concentrated, so I want to maybe pop that blackberry flavor out a little bit. But that's how to get it where a saison should be. This is more of a family kind of summer session-y beer to drink. It's a little high in alcohol. It's about 6.3%, but that's what I call my summer beer anyway. Good job, babe.
Goddamn. I didn't know it was a race. This asshole. This asshole.
This guy.
Now I feel like, come on.
Yeah, that's...
The wife already came in and told us we gotta get moving. And you're finishing your beer all quick. Man, let him fucking...
No, that's just how I drink, man. That's why kegs don't last very long around here.
Could you hurry up? We want to come outside.
Okay.
Alright, so at that, we're gonna close it up. brewlutv.
brewlutv.